You Never Give Me Your Money is one of those Beatles tracks that doesn't get as much attention as the big hits, but it's packed with meaning, especially if you dig into the band's drama at the time. Written by Paul McCartney in early 1969, the song is basically his way of venting about the Beatles' financial mess and all the nonsense they were going through with their new business manager, the notorious Alan Klein. McCartney, who really didn't trust Klein, put all his frustration into the song, which became the kickoff for that iconic medley on the second half of Abbey Road. Right off the bat, McCartney's taking a shot at Klein and how the Beatles weren't seeing their money. Just a bunch of legal documents and empty promises. The lyrics funny paper aren't just poetic. They're Paul's way of saying they were seeing a lot of paperwork but not getting their hands on actual cash. It's that feeling of working your off and never really seeing the rewards. Like having a fancy house and a car, but somehow the actual money is nowhere to be found. That frustration is the heart of the song.
Structurally, the song feels all over the place, and that's kind of the point. It's made up of different sections that don't exactly fit together smoothly, but somehow work. It's a little like John Lennon's Happiness is a Warm Gun in that sense. McCartney stitched together these bits and pieces. One part's called You Never Give Me Your Money. Another is Out of College. And then there's One Sweet Dream. It's like a musical collage which kind of reflects where the Beatles were at that time, a bit scattered with each member pulling in different directions.
The Out of College part is where McCartney shifts gears, looking back on their early days when they had no money but all the ambition in the world. There's a boogie-woogie vibe here, led by Paul on piano, and it's nostalgic for those simpler times. The line, that magic feeling, nowhere to go, captures that sense of having no real plan, but being full of hope, which is something the Beatles missed now that they were buried in legal battles and business headaches.
Then we get to One Sweet Dream, which takes a more personal turn. This part was inspired by McCartney's life with Linda. Amid all the chaos with the band, Paul found peace in his relationship with her. The line, pick up the bags and get in the limousine, is about those little escapes Paul and Linda would take, just driving off to the countryside to get away from it all. It's a reminder that, despite the mess the Beatles were in, McCartney still had something good going on in his personal life. In a way, this section hints at the beginning of his post-Beatles life, where he's focusing more on family and solo projects. Recording the song wasn't exactly straightforward either. The Beatles started working on it in May 1969 with a ton of takes, 36 in total, before they were happy with it. The final version of the song was stitched together with some tape loops, random sounds like bells, birds, and even bubbles, helping it transition smoothly into Sun King. It gives the whole thing this trippy, dreamy vibe that ties the song back into the larger medley.
John Lennon once said that Abbey Road was just unfinished songs all stuck together, and while that might be true to some extent, the fact that these fragments work so well together is what makes the album special. You Never Give Me Your Money might not have a neat and tidy structure, but that chaos is what makes it such a perfect reflection of where the Beatles were at the time. Fractured, but still capable of creating something beautiful.
At its core, the song is a mix of frustration, nostalgia, and hope. McCartney's working through his feelings about the band's downfall while also looking ahead to the next chapter of his life. It's a snapshot of the Beatles at a moment of transition, wrapped in one of the most inventive songs on Abbey Road.